Alright, so here's how we get started with doing indexing. First thing you're going to want to do is go to familysearch.org. Then you're going to want to sign in. Sign in credits you, credits everybody, keeps track of what you do. So this is your sign in, and it is just your LDS account, username, and password. So, okay. I have logged in. You can tell if you're logged in because your name will appear up top here. Then the next thing, this is if you use this site for doing searches, using family tree, looking at your all that kind of stuff. The one we want is here under indexing. You will select web indexing. Web indexing. Loads up. And here is your standard page. Now a few things to look at here. You've got your batches. I have a couple batches in here, but I'm going to use those so that you can download several batches, keep them on your machine, and then not have to be on the internet to use them. And then you just send them back and forth. We're going to find batches here in a minute. I'll show you how to do that. Here's keeps track of your numbers for different things you've done. If you go a little further, you can set goals for yourself. You can set a target goal up here. You can look at what you've done. I'll give you an idea. I do indexing and reviewing. You will only get to do indexing to start. After you do about 1,000 names, then you can be a reviewer. But just so you can see, if I go to the past month, it tracks it for me. So I didn't do anything in the beginning of July, and then I started to do stuff. So it gave me hints about what I was doing, and it's kind of nice. But yours will be under the indexing piece. Okay? And yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, that's really all you need. So once you're into that, then the next thing you're going to do is start indexing. So you start by finding a batch. When you find a batch, and you can see I have two choices, indexing or reviewing. You're going to want to just index, and that's probably all it will tell you. And then you'll select the level of difficulty beginning, like that, and then you can do a search. Or it'll show you some things that are projects that are have maybe a priority right now. Okay, I have a priority. It's going to sort it by difficulty, which doesn't mean anything because all of mine are beginning, and so will yours. If you want to check out more than one batch, you can select here and check out different ones so you have more than one at a time. Typically, I don't check out. I just do one at a time, but because I'm working with you, I'm putting us on here. Now you can see that in this case there's two possibilities to index or review, and you can see kind of what it's like there. You won't see this review, or you'll see it like this. This one here you can see has index review, but the index is blocked. So there are no cards there. There's nothing to index right now, only review. You can scroll this down and see additional projects that are going on, and you can do different things there. You could also select and choose different languages. If you want to do some German, you could do some German, or Danish or whatever, but I just do English. I'm just doing the easy stuff just because I just like to do stuff. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna select the batch. We're gonna do this New York Cards Part D. So we're gonna go ahead here and hit index, and it will load a batch. And this is how you're going to do this. Typically when you come up, you might get a project instructions, something right in here. I'm going to go ahead and open one just so you can see what project instructions would look like. So it'll come up like this, and they'll have specific instructions about what to do and how to do it. And always look, because there's usually more. And I really like it when they have these how to index, whether it's draft registration or other. You click on that, and it gives you this nice little thing here and tells you what you're going to see and what you're going to index. So in cell 1, you'll do the given names and middle, and then the surname and 3, 4, 5, where to find everything. It just is a really good little tool to help you see what you need there. Okay, to see that. All right, let's see. Figure out a way to get back with this. Okay, so we don't want the project instructions. We're done with that. Okay, and there's different things. What to remember, additional information. This is really good to look at if you haven't done this project before. So we're going to go ahead and close that. You can use any one of these tools up here as well, and each one of them has some things like if you're going to turn the batch back in, there's a quality control check they do. If you're going to mark something as blank or the whole line is blank, the whole entry, if you can't read it, one letter, if you can't read the whole line, if you're going to trash something, so you can look through these, copy text, and then you get up into here, and there's some handwriting samples, and there's some different things that can help you if you need to increase. These guys right here are good. You can make it bigger so you can see it better. You can make it as big as you want to, and then you just, once you're in here, you'll have to move around and check it out and see what to look at there. Then you've got this guy here. You can adjust the image. This is where you have to the left, to the right, rotations, adjust it by, invert it to make it opposite the colors that it is, or, put it back. You can do the brightness or the contrast to help you see the document. Okay. So you have those options there. You can move it around. You can move it, your scroller ball on your mouse will let you bigger and smaller as well. So there you go. So the first thing you're going to do, let's get it back in here. I guess the first thing you want it to do is it wants you to look at the image and see if it's good to go. Sometimes they're just a mess and you can't index them at all. So in that case, you would choose a different option here. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. And you go through and you can see there's 4 images in this group of 10. All right, and you can keep going on through. And I'm not going to pause. I'm going to go through them quickly because my recorder only has so much time. But there you go. You can see now this is my last image. They all look good. So now I'm going to start. Oh, that's something's wrong here. I messed that up. Okay. So I have to go back and fix that, but I will in just a second. Anyway, so here we go. We're back here to how do we index? Okay, so I'm going to make this, I like it a little bigger. I saw you use a bigger screen often, but I'm going to go bigger on this. Okay, there we go. So then you're just going to type in the names that you have here. So this guy's name is Charles Paul, and then his surname, so I'm just using a tab or an enter, Collins. And then I go down one more, and his city, you can see right in here, is Jamaica. And county is Queens. His resident state over here is NY, which is New York. And that thing I sent you earlier asked you to, if you have you know what it is, write it in when it comes to the states. Okay, so now we want birth town. So you look here where the births are. And he's born in Brooklyn, New York. So those are my next 2 fields. Okay, and the birth month is right here in the middle. And you have to decide, is that a 1 or a 7? And you have to give it your best guess there. I'm thinking it's a 1. So I'll look for other things that may have a 7 in them just in case. But I think I'm going to go with 7. All the ones don't have that little lip right there. So even that one there doesn't. So we're going to say it's 7th month, which is July. And it's the 18th of 1903. Okay, then we go down a contact's name, person who will always know who you are. And that's just it's a letter this time, sometimes full name, and the last name is Collins. Relationship is not listed there, not father, mother, whatever, so we put a control B, will give you a blank. Employer's name, he's with the U.S. Army base. And then we have to go over here to the other half of the card, which gives us the other information. He's white. He is 5'8", and you round to the lowest, so it's 5'8", not 5'9", 5'8.5". You just put 5'8". Weight is 140, and his complexion is light. You have the choices in there. His eyes are gray. Hair is brown. And then the registration month is listed down below, like right there, and that's a 2/15/42. So February 15th, 1942. Now I've done lots of these, so that it's a little easier. Then I go to my next image, and so on and so on. Okay, so that's how you do an index. So now I'm on number 3, so it's already went to the next card already, and I just go through and add everything else here. Now I'm gonna hit this arrow here, and I'm gonna store it for a minute because I want to come back and show you how to finish and submit. So I'm gonna pull out one of these others that I have already been working on and allow a chance to. Of course, I grabbed the same one. That's great. Okay, just a second here. Let's see. How about this one? So we'll get one that should already be done. Okay, hold please. Okay, I'm jumping back into another. I started another image just to give you an idea of what's going to happen next. So when you get in here, notice that this one was a Negro, dark brown. So when you start typing, then you can see what pops up. Select that cursor or type it in all the way. Then we've got brown, black. Be careful with black and blonde because it wants to go to the blonde first in the selection. And let's take a look at the date here is June 20th, 1942. Okay, what I want to show you is that if you hit enter right now, it goes to this create a second image, and you don't want to create a entry 2. That means there's a second part, another card attached to this image 3. You don't want to do that. You just want to stay with image 3. And then here it says next image. So that's what you'll click, and it gives you image 4, and it's another card. Well, when you finish all the way, then it's going to say next image, or it's going to say submit, and that's what you'll do is you'll submit it at that point. And you'll hit submit, and then it will do its quality check and put it back to the powers that be. I'm going to try and do that with this one, and we'll see what happens. So stand by while I catch up here. Okay, I put on pause and I finished up the rest of these. So I want to show you real quick. White. Okay, so I finished the batch. So I'm going to hit submit batch, and it looks to see if there's anything that might be out of whack. Nothing's there. They say it's okay, so you can submit it, and then it tells you that it was submitted, and you can either stop up here or you can do a similar batch, and it will pull it up so that you can look at it or pull from one you've already done. Anyway, that's the way it works. I hope that is good help to you, and we'll move on.